All right. Welcome to Stakeholder Podcast, the student edition, with the man, Kevin. Great, man. Kevin?
Yes, sir.
Welcome to Stakeholder.
Thank you.
Awesome. Can you kindly start off by telling us who is Kevin?
All right. So Kevin is a very reserved human being, very shy, which many people disagree with me. I'm a very perfectionist by nature and workaholic. And of course, to know me properly, you also have to know that I am a minister. So that's who I am. So we will give that juice for now.
Great, man. As you said that to know you, we have to know you're a minister, but to know you, we have to come closer to you. I think so, to know more about you. Now, to focus on what we are here for, right?
Okay.
The student edition. I know that you've studied something that we want to know more about. Can you tell us what is it?
Okay, so I study IT, but before I went into industry of IT, my first year at Dublin, I studied business communication.
Okay.
And communication information that has to do a little bit with IT and a little bit with a business, but I never finished it. Yeah.
Why?
Well, because along the way I didn't feel it, and I didn't feel it.
Yes.
Like the mindset that I had, what I was expecting to get at IT, it was not what they fit me. So I became unsatisfied with it. So
Okay.
I wanted more challenge, IT related.
Oh, interesting. So when you left Dublin, which institution did you go to afterwards?
When I left Dublin,
Yeah.
I immediately applied to go CPUT.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. And now that you mentioned that you studied business,
Yeah, business related.
Yeah, business related, but then you said it was a bit similar to IT, right?
Yeah, because it was a combination with IT and business. So we had like economic inside, we had financial accounting, those type of subject. Yeah.
So based on what you learned at Dublin and see when you went into CPUT to study IT,
Yeah.
how do you compare the two courses? Do you think that having having studied at Dublin for a short space of time prepared you well for your course at CPUT?
I'll probably disagree because it's two different things. It was too
Okay.
different. And in Dublin, I think they went more deeper into business aspect of it. And in CPUT, it was like role like IT, like coding and stuff like that. So it was different, yeah.
Interesting. So let's talk about IT.
Okay.
How was the journey?
Okay. Well, the journey was very difficult, very challenging. For people who like to get into IT, they must know that it's a very challenging industry. Like very challenging, very demanding. You must put yourself out there and learn so much. Because my first year, because I had to apply CPUT,
Yeah.
and the math marks they were asking me, I fell short in math. They were asking me to qualify. So there's a program they call curriculum. It's extra. Instead of spending 3 years in university, you spend 4 years.
Okay.
Now, the first year, you get to compete with 60 students, and they're only choosing 20. And you must be in the top 20. So my first year, we were competing with 60 students.
Okay.
So by God's grace, we managed to pass and get good grades. And we qualify for the first year now doing actual IT.
Wow.
Yeah.
You said in your first year, if in your first year you have to compete with 60 students to be in the top 20 to qualify, how does that differ? Because I know some courses at CPUT and other universities, they have what they call an extended program. Is it an extended program? What?
I think it's more an extended program, and the reason why is because there's always high demand at IT. When we apply, there are so many people.
Yes.
So they need to choose the best to qualify to go in. So that first year, like I wouldn't call it first year, but it would be more like a first year.
Yeah,
and we have
definitely.
to compete and take the 20 out of 60.
Sheesh. Wow, I didn't know that. Let's say you fall at 21, right? What happens? Can you return the next year and carry on, or does your journey end there?
No, the journey doesn't end. Obviously, you apply again.
Yeah.
You apply again, and you start from over. But I think this time now you already have much knowledge what to expect there. So I'll say 85% chance of making it.
Wow. Okay. So let's talk about the journey after the first year. Now into the real deal. Ooh. How was it? The real deal. The real Makoya.
Ooh. Okay. Well, in the journey, from the little IT that I studied in Dublin, and when I came to CPUT, two different things. Very different. And immediately struck me like first semester, second semester, I was struggling. It was pure coding. Like you have to do JavaScript, Java. We had to do HTML, CSS, and all those things was new. Knowing that I came from a background, I never studied IT. I never had any IT knowledge or at high school. I never did any subject like that. So it was very challenging, and I had to spend much of my night to try to understand the coding, break down a lot of things. So it was very, very challenging. Luckily, I had a friend who was really helpful. He came from the background of IT, studied IT in high school, etc. He started helping me, but it was a difficult journey. Very difficult. Like you must give yourself there. And plus, it happened that when I was studying first year, I was working. So the luxury of students that have after class, you can still stay behind, visit friends, study more. I never had it. I had to go look for money to pay for my fees. Sure. And at the same time, I was also serving the church. My literally path to ministry begins, 3 in 1.
And how did you perform in your first year? Because there were so many things that were demanding your attention at that point in time. How did you pass it?
Okay, I'll be very honest. I didn't pass it with flying colors because I had to first find my balance. I had to find my balance with, when you're studying, you're struggling with something, you need to spend time outside of classes with friends. That luxury I never had. I had to look for money to pay for my school fees and pay for the house, pay for food, for transport, all that.
Yeah.
So, some few subjects I did good.
Yeah.
I did good, but majority of them are I just made it.
Just made
it. The first years, I just made it. I just survived.
It's very impressive, actually, for me. That's why I asked not to know how many, or if you failed, whatever. No, I want to know. The issue is that I've heard you heard often that certain individuals say, no, I've got work, I can't carry on. But look, you just shun away excuses right now. You were working and studying at the same time, and I can imagine it's so demanding. Earlier, you also spoke about the different languages that you were coding in. You spoke about Java, CSS, and HTML. Which one in particular was more challenging to you, and how did you navigate around those? Though you had an aid of a friend, but now on a personal level. Okay,
from those 3 languages, the one I struggled the most was Java. Because HTML, CSS are basic. You understand? Anyone watching basic. But Java was more demanding. It's more demanding. But I never went into depth in those 3. Because what I study, because many people do not know when you use your IT outside, they think of IT. But IT broke down many streams. We have many streams. We have application development. We have multimedia. We have communication network.
Okay.
So I was not more into coding, but though it was compulsory, first year, you must know coding. You must have a knowledge, understanding basic of it.
Wow. Can you break down the 3 streams you just mentioned right now?
Okay. With application development, have to do with the game that we have on our phone, the coding.
Yes.
It's a coding world, the game, etc., software, etc., application development. That's for it. Now, multimedia has to do with graphic design. Multimedia has to do with UX, user experience. I don't know if you know it, UX experience. People that, when you create the phone and app.
Oh, yes.
For you to design, how about using the phone?
Yeah.
They are mostly into that. And we have communication network. We have to do with networking, for instance, to connect this company with the company maybe outside of South Africa.
Yeah.
To have them the same hardware, the same information, data. Communication network is mostly based on that. That's where I studied.
So the first 2 are very software based, and the second one is hardware based.
Yeah. No, It's multimedia is not actually software fundamental. Like it goes also with editing, like video editing, and it more has to do with. For me, it was very much something that I was doing already, knowing my background, thinking. I used to be part of a media team at my church, so I used to do it already. I wanted something that I don't do. I needed new skills. Yeah.
Interesting. Now the course sounds very practical. Like you do a lot of practical work.
Yeah.
How are exams set up? Because I'm trying to figure out. Look. For someone like me who studied engineering, your exams, you wrote them down and stuff like that. How do you write your exams?
Okay. Our exams are broke down into theory and practical.
Yeah.
And theory, of course, on paper, you write down your answer, etc. And practical side, we had this thingy called, what's the name? Packet tracer. For those who study IT or those who communication network, as I'm saying this, they know packet tracer. So they will give us the task, and we have to assemble the whole component, the hardware, and the what do you call this thing? The computer, etc. So they give you, it's a software which you download on a laptop and you work on it. So that was a more practical side. And you go in the class and sit down there. They give you guys a task. They expect you guys to finish it in the last 1 hour or 30 minutes. So that's the practical side of it.
And when the time's over, it just shuts down.
You just shut down based on what you have done.
Yeah.
They get the mark out of it. Even if you didn't finish it, like if you were correct, they give you marks based on that.
Oof. Wow. We've been speaking about your first year. Then how does the second year and the third year compare to the first? Okay.
And I will just give you this short story. Many people do not know it. So to also study communication network, we had to go to competition as well. You know that? Yeah. Because the communication network, they can only have 20 students to study it. And if, for example, 50, we must go to a boot camp. In that boot camp, they give us a lot of notes to study, and we're going to go a boot camp, and you must score 80% to qualify to study communication network. But you're already in IT. If you fail that, you automatically go to application development or multimedia. So the demand for communication network high, and low amount of people could do that. So when second year now, I had to choose the stream. Because first year, we don't choose a stream.
Yeah.
First year, you do basic of everything.
Yes.
Now, second year, you choose a stream. Now, when I choose communication network, we had to go to the boot camp. And the first boot camp I went there, I fell short, I think, 5 marks. And that's to start the year from over. Instead of spending 4 years in the university, I spent 5 years.
So it's a long journey.
Yeah, I had to start over. I was given the option to okay, Kevin, you failed. You can do application network or you can do multimedia.
Yeah.
But I was not a fan. And it was just not my thing. What I wanted to study was nothing related to that. So you know what? This 1 year, it's fine. It sounded more like a waste, 50% waste, 50% not waste. So in that year, I focused more to know about communication network and etc. And when the following year came, the boot camp, I passed. So I think we were 90%. Yeah, I passed the boot camp, and then I qualified for the second year now to be a student for communication network.
Wow. So, and I guess it's a yearly subject, right?
Yeah, it's a yearly subject.
Wow. Oh, that has been a journey, man. And it's just a beautiful one because, despite the hits, the knocks, you keep on getting up and just keep on going on and on and on and on, man.
Yes.
So, but then why is there such a high requirement for that communication network?
Well, because, for instance, many companies today, like every company, you need a network, you need IT, you need IT base. And because of such high demand into that, and the place in university, the places that they can only serve 20 students based on that demand, they can't have many people in that aspect, in that stream. So I think based on the high demand and how much company are in need of it, daily operation, the networking, because in network we touch a little bit on security as well. We also touch a little bit on cloud computing.
Oh.
So because we touch a little bit on those things,
Yeah.
I believe that's the reason also the demand very high.
They really want to have the best of the best coming out of that door.
Exactly.
Wow. You know, I just mentioned right now about you picking yourself up, man. This is a message maybe you would have to, or an encouragement to someone who's going through that way. They could be studying right now or planning to study IT, and they're receiving those knocks. How did you navigate through it? You know, how did you navigate through it? Like, okay, cool. I've experienced a setback. Let me pull myself up. I'm feeling a bit down because you know that feeling you get when you don't achieve what you want to achieve. How did you pull yourself during those stormy days and stuff?
I think the first thing you should first have a purpose, and you must motivate yourself first. You don't. Of course, we need people to motivate us, but at the end of the day, you must motivate yourself, and you must have the desire, how much you need it, how much you want to study it. Because the difference between an average person who wants to study something and doesn't work out with the person who desires is the desire. It's the desire. If you have a high desire for something, you will continue to push yourself up. So my advice for somebody who's not only IT, anything related to university, etc., knock down a bit, is the desire, how much you want it. Like discipline yourself. Like discipline yourself. Even if life knocks you down, you get up and start going. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to blame someone else. It's all on yourself. Wow. So what do you have to rely on someone else to push you on something that you're going to win it. They're not going to win it with you. When they say winning, they mention your name, not the person. So number one motivator of yourself, you must be yourself first.
Yeah, no, I love the way you say it. The number one motivator or your greatest fan or whatever, your greatest, the person who should be pushing you first should be you. You know, it likened to someone who is hungry, right? When you're hungry, you're going to go look for food. Even if you don't know how to cook, bro, you're going to make a plan to cook, you know? And there's no excuses about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. So, I know you've gone through the whole studying stages and you probably went as well into the in-serve. Yeah. How do you compare what you did in in-serve with what you did in class? Did you see reoccurring concept patterns in industry and what you're doing in class as you were studying the course?
Okay. Well, on that question, I didn't actually dive in the industry yet. Industry completely. I started. I did for 3 or 4 months in the industry, and what the difference. There was not many different. What the industry and what you study in class related is first. Number one was work ethic, and the ability to navigate things, the ability to know. Because many people use the computer, but when something goes wrong with it, they don't know.
Yeah,
they don't know how to get out of it. But they use it. They've been using it for years.
Yeah.
So so what combined what you're doing in the workplace and what you study, what we study, it was the fact that you can handle when the troubleshooting, problem solving. So those things you carry on like from university all the way working industry, problem solving, because that's what people are looking for, problem solving. And that's one thing that travel around, problem solving. You're able to bring solution to problem in IT.
Sweet, man. Sweet. Having studied IT, right? And nowadays we've got the buzzing word, AI. I'm thinking of someone who hears, we've got softwares that can code for us, that can write a code. What's the point of me studying IT? What can you advise? How would you advise that person to still study IT despite and learning how to code, despite us having smart technologies that it can do it for us?
Well, what I can advise somebody, for one instant, that AI is helping, it's very helpful. But at the same time, you're also destroying your brain. Your brain will not be able to think that far. Yeah. You wouldn't know if you are able to do that thing or not. At the same time, you need to use your brain. You need to use your brain. So my advice is don't overuse AI. Don't overuse it, especially when it comes to something you have to do with your brain. The more you use your brain, the more creative. So if you use more AI, you are limiting your creative ability. Limiting it. God gave us the mind to be creative.
Yeah.
AI is built, it's man-made. Somebody made it. I made AI.
Okay.
So as much as AI can do a lot, it has limitation.
So you've never used it for any of your assignments?
I use it.
Yeah.
But if I have a percentage of doing, I'll give it 25, 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And plus, I think my second or third year, I study AI.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I study AI. It's part of the elective. Yeah, they call it the elective. So there are different subject there. You choose either you choose Python or you choose etc. I chose AI. So I chose AI. It was just for I think for 6 months.
Yes.
Yeah, for 6 months. Yeah, it's part of the curriculum in the university.
Okay. So yeah. Now let's go to your. Like you said earlier, you didn't really come from a background of IT even at school, right? But quite often you do find certain concepts or certain things that you've learned at high school reoccurring in your uni modules and stuff like that. Can you touch on any subjects that really helped you that you learned at high school that played a role in your uni years? Do you remember any?
If I will probably choose one, it will be math and English.
Math and English.
Yeah, I'll choose math and English. Because my first year, we had to do something which it's not actually math, but you must have a knowledge of math. It's called quantitative techniques. Quantitative techniques. For those who study CPUT, they know it. It's quite similar to math. Quite similar to math. So that was one of the subjects first year that smacked me. Yeah, it smacked me. So the one thing that I find it's complementing each other in university and in high school, it was math. And of course, why I say English, why? Because it's some subject that, because we in the English country, we speak English, we think we understand it. No. Because there's some terminology used in the IT world. You must have a very much deeper understanding
of the language.
English.
Yeah.
So in one aspect, English and math for me.
Great.
Though what I study is not even related to IT. I study biology, I study history, I study geography. It has nothing to do with IT. I'm telling you.
Wow. Oh, wow. Okay. It's like a doctor going to become trying to do IT. But anyway, so awesome. So having gone through the journey of studying and getting to here, right? Let's take travel back in time.
Okay.
To maybe 7 years ago. You were still in high school, trying to figure out what to study, or whichever year you were in high school.
Okay.
And what advice would you give that young Kevin, still optimistic about life, still wondering whether he should study IT or any other course?
The advice I'll give to that Kevin, it was a great decision to take a break, a year gap. I think that year gap straight after high school did me good, because I wanted to study. I was so confused. Though I wanted to study sports science, there were multiple options. Tourism was one of them. And there was so many options. My mind was not set on one thing. Though I love sport, but when I checked sports science and how hard it is to break in and etc., I started thinking again. So I decided to take a gap year. And in that gap year, I was working as a receptionist at the gym. Yeah. So, and along the way, then I sat down. I'm like, you know what? With my business, genetic business, right? Because my father and my mother's side, they're business people.
Yes,
I'm like, then let me go to IT.
Yeah.
Like, look how the world is going. So let me go to IT. So the greatest advice I give to Kevin and anyone watching out there, if you're very unsure, like you're straight out of high school, you're not sure, don't be in a hurry to study. No, take a break. Take a year gap. It will help you to think, to see world in a different view. Because when you're out of high school, we're not exposed much to the world. When you start working in this, and then the world started coming towards you. Then you have a different understanding. then you make a decision.
Yeah, you become wiser.
Yeah.
Everything becomes clearer. Now, for this wise and smart Kevin, how does the future look like? Let's say next 5 years.
Next 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay. In the next 5 years, I'll actually love to open a business, but that business has something to do with IT, of course. Because when I studied IT more because I saw the next million of years, we are in an age of technology ages.
True.
It will dominate.
Yeah.
So in the next 5 years, I want to open a business, and I want to create a platform that will help many kids. Many kids, more like a gap, to stand between the gap, and that has to help less privileged children, help the orphans, just to create a platform there for them, because we never had it. So I just make sure that, because I never had it, next person doesn't need never not to have it. They must have somebody. So one of my big goals, apart from how we all dream of being rich and etc., but I want just to create a bridge for kids to have, like a basic of what many kids have, many kids do not have.
Could be a philanthropist.
Yeah, I do some of that work. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay, great, man. So thank you, Kevin, for being a stellar, a rock. For just sharing nothing but liquid gold knowledge here, and you're driving us deeper into the world of IT, or how to study and what to look out for. You've been nothing but a breath of fresh air.
Thank you.
And we'll love to see you the next time, man.
All right, thank you, man.
With your big business, and interview you as a CEO.
Of course, next time I'm coming here, definitely will CEO, yeah.
Definitely, the sky's the limit, bro.
Oh,
nothing more than that. Awesome.
Thank you, man.
Great.